Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Actually, I think it's very obvious why the deep state fights tooth and nail, fights so hard to stop Donald Trump from ever gaining power. It's not because he's a fascist that will destroy America from within. No, it's pure self-preservation. What they're truly scared of is disclosure. When you got that many freaking skeletons in your damn closet, when you've engaged in corrupt psyops and criminal conspiracies against private citizens and frankly the American people as a whole, when you've engaged in those kinds of behaviors on such a consistent basis and done it through legitimate official government channels, well, obviously you don't want the disclosure, you don't want the people knowing. That's why they fight so hard, because of the document releases. And speaking of those releases, we've got yet again another official government document that's now found its way in front of the public eye, and it's yet again another damning example of the Biden administration's corruption and frankly betrayal of the American people on a level like we've never seen before. There's a lot of accusations about the Democrats manipulating illegal migration, the way they purposely opened the border because they knew it benefited them and they were using it to their advantage. They were using the illegal migrants as political pawns, despite their claims of the contrary, despite their denials. Well, it's kind of hard to deny it now. We got another massive scandal brewing, and this goes on top of the Hyundai scandal, and it's all telling the same story. The deep state class, the uniparty class, and especially the Democrat class, selling out the American worker, selling out the American people for their own frickin' benefit. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here's the document in question that has surfaced. This comes straight out of congressional testimony and internal briefings. Now you could go ahead and pause the video and read the entire thing if you'd like, but I'm going to focus on this specific snippet right over here. Quote, this includes approximately 10,000 individuals recruited annually who bring unique knowledge, skills, and abilities that directly support national security priorities. Most recently, the department has been a meaningful participant of the immigration military member and veteran initiatives. And now, how can I describe that? That's basically fluffy political doublespeak. If you don't understand the context, it just sounds like, hey, we're looking for qualified people. But the reality is quite different. That is Deputy Defense Personnel Secretary Stephanie Miller, who's, by the way, the same person who removed 9,000 U.S. citizens from the military under Joe Biden's watch for refusing to take the jab. That's her saying that she was focused on recruiting 10,000 illegal aliens annually, non-citizens, foreign nationals, with a promise of citizenship, and also, later in the documents, even mulling the idea of bringing back deported illegals to grant them full VA benefits and citizenship. And then it gets even worse because under questioning, when asked about deported illegal alien veterans being paroled or allowed back into the United States under the IMMVI, the question was, quote, were any of the deported alien veterans convicted of crimes in the United States? And the answer was, yes, Congressman. Let that sink in for a second. Under Biden's government, criminal illegal aliens who were deported for crimes that they committed on U.S. soil were let back into the United States under this immigration military program. And when there was pushback on that, asking if the victims of said crimes were even notified, the answer was basically, well, we don't handle that, it's case by case. So the Biden administration is literally putting foreign nationals who committed crimes on American soil above American citizens, and even above the victims who suffered because of those illegal aliens. It's treachery. And really, that seems to be the consistent thread here. Just look at the Hyundai battery plant scandal that we covered a couple days ago. Joe Biden was bragging about all the jobs that he was creating, but what was the reality? It wasn't American citizens getting good-paying jobs putting up that factory. It was illegal aliens. Even Scott Bessent was talking about this recently.
Mr. Secretary, the economy did add nearly 500,000 manufacturing jobs under former President Biden. In this case, since April, again, you're actually losing manufacturing jobs. Is that problematic for your policy?
Well, a couple of things, Chris. We're going to get the revisions for last year next week, and there may be as big as an 800,000 job downward revision. Again, this would be the second downward revision, so I'm not sure what these people who collect the data have been doing. It's good. We need good data. Secondly, what we are seeing is the jobs that are being created are going to either native-born or legal Americans. Most of the jobs created under the Biden administration, they went to illegal aliens.
Well, and I think that there would be a lot of debate over the fact that they went to illegal aliens, but let's keep moving.
No. That's That's the fact.
And really, without even verifying it, I could just believe it. How else can you possibly explain how Joe Biden was bragging about all that job growth during total economic disaster and recession? They were cooking the frickin' books since day one. Most of those jobs were people simply going back to work after COVID, or phony government jobs that were being created by money printer Go Burr. And then, of course, on top of that, millions upon millions of illegal aliens crossing over the border illegally, over 10 million people under Joe Biden's watch, and that's a pretty conservative estimate. And so obviously they were using them as pawns to pad the numbers. It was all about political perception, announcing victory at the podium, rather than actually delivering results for American citizens. I hope more and more people are having this epiphany moment right over here.
While y'all out here getting crazy mad about Donald Trump, he's still doing the mother thing. I live in the state of Georgia, and they had raided the Hyundai factory in Georgia, and they arrested 475 immigrants working in there. And as they were bringing them out, I saw iPhones, I saw name brand clothes on these immigrants, I saw all this stuff. Hyundai f***ed up and ignored all protocol and hired a whole bunch of illegals. Now what, Hyundai? What the you gonna do now? They done detained 475, and then when you looked at the parking lot, they had all them nice vehicles, all at the motherfucking American expenses. And then some of y'all, they just here to work. Well, while they were here, why didn't they want to get legal? Y'all just kill me with the bullshit. I'm glad ICE doing what the they do. ICE keep up the good goddamn work. And Hyundai, one question. Are y'all hiring?
You should be outraged that illegal aliens were the ones actually being hired to put up that Hyundai factory. That U.S. citizens who devoted themselves to service were removed from their post, dishonorably discharged, because they wanted to practice bodily autonomy. And instead, to fill that gap, they went and recruited illegal aliens, foreign nationals, some of which were criminals. It's the same frickin' pattern every time. Whether it's the Pentagon or whether it's the job market, Biden, Democrats, the Uniparty, they're clearly obsessed with giving preference to illegal aliens, non-citizens, and even in this case, criminals, when American citizens are left unrepresented, unemployed, abandoned, and frankly treated like second-class citizens in their own country. It's corruption, pure and simple. It's betrayal, an absolute betrayal of the American people. Democrats have essentially built a two-tiered system, and it's clearly not sustainable, and it's absolutely unfair. And the more information we have, the more we're able to connect the dots, the more document dumps that we get, the more it's clear that Biden, the Democrats, and even some uniparty Republicans, they have sold out the country. This is why opportunity is becoming more and more scarce. This is why wages are stagnating. This is why you're getting poorer and poorer and poorer, but the multinational corporations continue to benefit. It's decline by design, and it's time that people seriously start waking up. You're not a bigot, you're not a racist, you're not a far-right crazy person for demanding the most basic of standard, that your elected government, your president, your government institutions, demanding that they act on your behalf for your benefit and not for the benefit of globalist organizations, multinational firms and corporations, and foreign nationals. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.